Dogger, south or southeast, becoming cyclonic. 6 to 4, maybe 7 later. Moderate, occasionally rough later. Rain later. Good. Fisher, east veering south or southeast. 4 to 6, occasionally rain. Slight or moderate later.
Good morning and welcome to Project Nigel. It is morning as well, 10 to 7, yet I'm already on the motorway going up the M62 at 60 miles per hour. In the boot of the car I have sandwiches, 8 rounds of bread, not with egg mayonnaise but with cheese, and I'm not going to be eating them in here. It's okay eating in the truck but not in the car. I also have 2 flasks of tea and some biscuits. So you can probably gather I'm on my way somewhere. I am on my way somewhere. My destination is 160 miles away. And no, I'm not going to a car show. I'm not going for a job interview. What I'm doing is taking Nigel to see a man who's really rather well known, and he is going to do a video test drive of this particular car, and you'll find out who this man is before the end of the video. My name is Teddy, I've got a field full of fresh new cows, but some of them are brown and some of them are white and some of them don't have any legs, don't know why. My name is Terry, I've got a field full of chickens too. That might be just the kind of nonsense I'm going to have to do to keep myself alert this morning. Because for one thing, I'm not a morning person. I was doing okay when I had a job as a truck driver and I was doing it every morning. But this time it's different. Do you know why? Because I don't do it every day. And last night I couldn't sleep. It could be excitement. It could be that it was just too warm. I don't know. But I ended up keeping on the couch. It was that difficult. So I've had about 3 minutes sleep. In Nigel, I don't have working air conditioning. At the moment that's not really a problem. Later on it most definitely will be. But what I do have is a working radio. So do I listen to the radio? Or do I just talk nonsense? Yeah, it's a tough choice, that one. I seem to do okay without the radio nearly all of the time. But what are my choices? Radio 2 at this time of the morning with its breakfast time presenters that make you feel guilty because you're not all excited about being up so early. That's annoying. I could put Radio 4 on. But at the moment, yeah, that explains it. M1, 125 miles to go. Admittedly, this is a very, very long way to go to let somebody else drive my car. Normally it's the other way around. I like to drive other people's cars. I'm happy for them to come to me, and they always seem happy to come to me. I am happy to admit that this, for me, although I am interested in meeting this chap, is kind of an exercise in, I want to get the Project Nigel name out as much as I possibly can. If I can gain some more followers from doing this, then that's what it's all about. There must be many, many more people about that don't know of my channel that would actually like it. And now it's time for a little ramble, a motorway ramble, because what you see on the motorway, an awful lot, are heavy goods vehicles. And ever notice 99% of the people driving them are men? Why is it such a high percentage? When you see a woman driving a truck, it gets your attention because you think, oh look, a woman driving a truck, amazing! And I'm not being misogynistic because you can't pass your HGV unless you can properly drive. And I know this because I did my HGV about 6 years ago, and It's not something you can pass by accident. My examiner was a woman as well. If I'm honest, I was a bit scared of her. She looked like the kind of woman that could beat me in an arm wrestle. But it wasn't that. She just was very, very unfriendly. She didn't have a problem at all giving me a pass. Unlike the other person that was in the examination centre at the time, who was a woman from Poland, who failed and flipped her lid and said it was basically the examiner's fault. What women HGV drivers look like. Maybe. Although there was once I was going through Glossop or somewhere like that, and I saw a lady in a proper big HGV, an articulated one, a very tall one. She looked like the singer from Enya, which is really quite unexpected. The other thing that surprises me is that most HGV drivers not only are men, but seem to be old men. And you've got to keep up your medical. You've got to pass a medical every 5 years to keep your licence. So isn't that amazing? All these old men that are fit, as well as being rather rotund. Yes. Interesting. Just had the radio on briefly then. Is this just my thought, or has Sophie Ellis Bextor gone weird? I've got about 90 miles to go, and I'm just I really need to have some tea and a sandwich. Yet another lovely sunny warm day. Every time I take Nigel out to a car show or anything like this, any kind of event, it's a lovely sunny warm day. In fact, the moment I start washing it, suddenly the sun comes out. What does that tell you? That this car makes you so happy that even God approves, gives us good weather. Yeah. That's what I do to try and wake myself up a little bit. Watford Gap. I had to stop for a minute because I was about to fall asleep otherwise. Quick stop for a cup of tea and a sandwich, just to keep me alert. I wasn't very alert then. Going to be about 5 minutes late now. That'll never do. Good morning. Are you a shake hand man? Yes. Good to meet you. Likewise. Mr. Martin's enjoying taking pictures of absolutely everything in my car at the moment, which is good because that's exactly what I do. Quite a few drive parts to do. I thought he was going to just take the keys off me and bugger off with it, but no, he's a lot more thorough than that. Gives me an idea. Maybe I should do the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I've given you old stuff.
Do these ever fall off?
I'm not due for another sort of 5 to 20.
Go on, enjoy yourself with that horn.
Oh, I will.
Well, there goes James Martin in Project Nigel, and I think he's the only other person to actually proper drive it, besides my friend Elliot, who I once lent it to and made a video about it and threatened him not to eat kebabs in it. I hope he's enjoying himself in my car. Being the kind of man that tries to be prepared, what I did was bring along food, which I have mentioned. 2 flasks of tea, and look, this stuff I put in the freezer last night, so I thought that at some point I might need a cold drink, and it might still be cold, and it probably will. And then my sandwich is there, but looks like I'll be eating those on the way home, because he's buying me dinner. He's a very generous chap. He's a very generous chap indeed, actually. So whilst he's out having a lovely drive in my car, I might as well tell you what's gone on here. A few weeks back, I watched one of JM on Cars videos right the way to the end, and I generally do because I do like his videos. I find them very entertaining, and at the end it said always on the lookout for interesting cars, and then the email address. So I thought, yeah, go on, let's see, would he like to have a go in Nigel? And I was very surprised to have a return message from him in the morning saying, no, that's very colourful, that's very interesting. Yeah, I would be interested. And so we made a date. But because he's obviously a very, very busy man with this, I didn't really want to bother him too much with emails or ask for a contact number or anything like that. So I wasn't really sure even what I was getting myself in for, besides the fact that I was going to have to drive quite a long way to get here in the first place. And I must say I'm very, very pleasantly surprised by the chap. He's a very friendly man. Do you know, when I'm driving around and I'm using the camera phone to film, I often feel a little bit self-conscious if I see other people around. You know, chatting away clearly to myself, all this. You know, you can look and you can see me looking at myself. So what must it feel like for this chap there with 6 cameras, 5 of them on the outside, and then a great big massive one on the windscreen, and then a shirt like that. I wonder if other people, when I'm taking their car out, whether they miss their car, whether they worry about it. I don't tend to take them out for very long because I do most of my video walking around talking nonsense about them. But this chap gets in the car and drives it away and does all of his talking whilst driving it. And it feels like it's been a long time so far, and I'm really missing my little car. Bring it back safely, James, for your heed. Wait till you see this. Where have all the cameras gone? So it's a convoy to the next place we're going to. We're supposed to be having some dinner in that place there with the TVR man in front, and there's no food available. No food! That won't do. So there's another little restaurant just up the road. We're going there. Okay.
quite a nice indoor-outdoor place.
I've got my very long drive back to the north, and I don't feel as tired as I did do this morning. But I do feel quite full up of food. And going into a pub for a dinner, what do you drink? You can't drink beer, can you? And then drive. So I had to drink cola, and I don't drink that sort of stuff normally. But I had 2 pints of it, and I think that's what's made me feel rather bloated. I'm out of the window, warm air. This is the standard thing to expect whilst travelling on any of the UK motorways, I suppose. Somebody's gone and had themselves a silly accident, and now everybody else has to queue up. I hope it's not a bad accident, and I hope nobody's hurt, but I would prefer if they didn't do it in the first place. At least it's still moving a little bit. Although, if it stopped, I could get out of the car and switch the engine off and get myself a sandwich and a drink. Not that I need either of them at the moment. These are just the kind of conditions that old cars overheat in, or certainly they used to be. Nobody's going anywhere for a bit by the looks of it. Helicopter. Yes, it's a very serious accident after all. Apparently it's on both sides of the carriageway as well. It wasn't that long ago when I had to spend ages just sat in traffic because of an accident. But this is both lanes closed, and we're on a flight path. There's an air ambulance trying to get through, and must be near some water because my yellow bonnet's getting covered in insects, and that's going over the rest of the car and then going on my beard, and it's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, I want to say that.
Yeah, well, you know.
Jeff, I love motorway services, I do. They're fantastic. You people don't know how lucky you are. Classic pit stop. And suddenly I'm a hat wearing that, because although it's not going to keep me cool inside, it stops my hair from blowing in my face. I don't particularly want it blowing in my face. Woo, mama! It sure is hot today. Smoke, slow down, it says. Well, where is the smoke? I'm slowing down, but I still can't see it. There was a lorry fire on the other side of the road, but there's no smoke or fire there now. But you should still slow down, otherwise you don't get to see what was a fire. These 3 trucks here are speaking cat language. Now reaching the highest motorway in England. I'm almost back home. just another 6 or so miles, maybe 10 miles actually, come to think of it, because this slope's quite long. And what a hot day, what a long day. 12 hours ago it was when I first came out. Trip down the road, let a man called James have a go in my car, nip back home again. But with all those delays, it's been something else. But Nigel has been a good car. It's always been a good car. And I'm fairly sure that James likes it. We should like it. What's not to like? This long trip today hasn't really helped by the fact that I had about an hour and a half sleep at best last night. So that's reasonably mentally challenged, as always. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.